So I can also do like this. Write a select statement in installation event and pass that result value to parameters. Okay. Not only calculations, we can also write select statements in initialization if required and pass that variable or work area values to parameters as default values. We cannot do that here in the parameter statement using default. We can handle such kind of requirements in installation event. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
So what is that selection screen event?
It is used to validate
It is used to validate the selection screen inputs.
input.
Okay. So what you have written here, if p underscore date is initial. Is initial means what? If there is no value in p underscore date, then display error message. Type E, not I, type E. So what is the property of error message? The program execution will be stopped there. Get the error message. Okay, clear?
Okay. Okay.
So it will accept the date. For example, I'll remove the date. It is displaying error message, that is enter the date, enter date. Okay. So why we are adding this condition? Because we want to make p underscore date as a mandatory input. So user should enter the value. Okay, clear? We can achieve this in a different way using in parameters we have a extension obligatory. That's it. If you add this statement obligatory to the parameter, that means obligatory means this p underscore date is a mandatory input. Let me comment this validation. Okay, now just check how it is working. So how can you make a parameter as a mandatory input? Using obligatory. But I'll let you know the difference by you. So when we use this set selection screen event and when we go for obligatory. Execute. So now I've commented the at selection screen validation and the message. Now this is from obligatory. What it is saying? Fill out all required entry fields. So it is just making it as a mandatory field. You can observe here. A asterisk symbol got added here, right?
Yes, sir.
That means it is a mandatory field. Fill out all required entry fields. We don't know. So it is providing some generic message. So it is providing some generic message, not specific to the field. Okay. If you want to add that message specific to the field, a custom message, if you want to display a custom message, you can use that selection screen event. Okay. But obligatory statement will validate only, okay, if there is a valid, if there is at least a one entry or not in the field, but it cannot validate whether it is a correct value or not. So the obligatory statement will just check whether there is some value in the input parameter or not. Okay, but it cannot validate whether it is a valid value or not. Okay, clear? Is it clear?
Okay.
So I'll add one more condition. If p underscore date is greater than sy hyphen datum. So what I'm saying here, date, whatever the date entered in the parameter, if it is greater than current date, today's date, I'm raising a error message. Date should not be in future. That is my condition. Okay, you cannot achieve this condition using obligatory. It will check whether there is at least some value in the parameter or not. It's not going to check whether it is a valid value or not. Is it clear? You can replace this condition. What are we checking here? We are checking, is there any value in p underscore date parameter or not? We can replace this with obligatory, but this condition we cannot replace with obligatory, right? We cannot check this condition in obligatory statement. If date is in future, I am raising error message. Okay. Now just check. So this is the first error. Let's enter some date. What is the date format it is accepting? Okay, I did -3, right?
Internal date format.
Mm. What is the system date? Go to system.
Into the date. 16.
See, system date and time is depends on the server where it is installed. Like if it is running from the US, oh, sorry, here system status. You have system time, but there should be a field for system date also. Let's assume I went at 20. What it is saying? Date should be in should not be in future. Okay. Let's try 16. So it is accepting 16. Let's try 17. So date should not be in future. It won't let you execute the program. Okay. Now, is it clear? Now, the next statement is startup selection. In this event, what we write? We write data selection, select statements, and or any other business logic, the core functionality. In initialization, we are populating default values. In net selection screen, we are validating the inputs. What do we do in startup selection? We write business functionality. What is the main functionality of this program? That is some select statements or any other calculations we do here. Okay. For example, by using this date input, we'll select data from some table. Did we create any tables with the date? For example, joining date or anything. Did we create any tables?
No, sir.
Yes. Date, no, I think. No.
Okay. Let's go to this Mara table. Here we have created on date. What is Mara? Material master table. Whatever the materials you are going to purchase or you are going to use, that should be created in this master data. So there is a field called ERSDA, that is created date. When this particular material record is created, check the data, execute. Okay, material number 1 is created on 10/02/2022. So there are different materials created on, so we'll see 02/11, 02/15, 15. Okay, we'll take some date, 12. We'll take 12 as our input so that we can get all these multiple materials created on 12th. So what is our requirement? Select material number. I'll select material number and create a date and who created it. Okay. What is the field? Matner is the material number, ERSDA and ERNA. Okay. Tell me the select statement.
Correct.
Matner,
Matner, comma,
RDA, ERSDA,
or I'll select material and the unit of measurement. What is unit of measurement?
unit testing.
For every material or product, we have unit of measurements, right?
Yeah, DAFO.
Which one?
ZDIFO.
This one, MEINS. What is unit of measurement? First tell me what is unit of measurement. Okay. So let's say there is a material pen. So what is the unit of measurement for pen? What is the unit of measurement for pen? So when you go to the shop, how will you ask for a pen? So did you ask like, can you give 1 kg of pens? Or did you ask like, can you give 1 liter of pens? How you are going to ask?
Give me a pen.
Give me 1 pen, 2 pens, or 3 pens, or 4 pens, or 10 pens. Right? So what is the unit of measurement here for a pen? Piece, for piece. 1 piece, the cost is based on
No numbers.
piece, 1 piece of pen. What is the cost of one piece
One
of pen?
pen number.
What is the cost of two pieces of pen? When you go to the some electronic showroom, and how will you ask for a TV? Are you going to ask, give me 1 liter of TV or 1 kg of TV? No, right? I want one TV or two TVs or three TVs per piece. The cost is based on per piece. One piece, the cost is 10,000, right? And you are and you wanted to buy some iron for your house construction, and you go to the hardware shop. How will you ask them the iron? Did you ask them like, give me one piece of iron,
Kgs in kgs.
or did you ask them, give me 100 liters of iron, or did you ask them, give me 10 meters of iron? No, right? Iron will be in tons,
kgs.
mostly in tons. Okay, tons. So we can also, yeah, we can also measure in kgs, but generally iron will be mostly in tons, right? Similarly, different liquid things, petrol. How can you measure the petrol? Not in kgs, right?
Yeah.
Or not in pieces, right? In liters. So
Liters.
that is what unit of measurement. In SAP, every material will be configured in which table? Mara table. And the remaining are material properties. What is the unit of measurement? Okay. What is the material type? So material type means, in material type we have, is it a finished goods or raw material? There are different types of material types. All the things, all material related properties are mentioned in Mara table. Okay. Okay. Let's take material number means from Mara is a standard table. Okay. Into, tell me what is the syntax? Tell me.
Into table Mara.
I'm using inline declaration only. Okay. Where?
Right.
What is it? Date, right? We want to select data by date, right? Create a date. ERSDA equal to this one.
PD.
Use escape character.
Select statement ERSDA is not written.
That's not required. We don't need to include this field here. Okay. But we are just filtering based on this field. We are filtering, we are selecting these two fields based on this one. Okay. We don't need to include that's here. Clear? If you want to display it as output, if you want to display date also as output, we need to include here. Clear? What is sub RC?
That's why some subordinate zeros.
Why we use this?
Success of that. Still failed.
Hmm.
Display. Yeah, understand.
So what if it is failed? What if there is no data available for this date in Mara table? I've entered a date and there is no record for the date in the Mara table. I have to notify the user using some message else. If sub RC is not equal to 0, what is else means? Else means sub RC is not equal to 0, other than 0. That means select statement is failed. It is not able to select any data. Message.
Uh,
Okay. So when, what is else means? Other than sub RC. If sub RC equal to 0 means, okay, the select statement is successful. There is a record in Mara table for this input date, for the created date value. and if it is not available, we'll notify the user using a proper error message. No records available in what is the type of error message?
E.
We can use E, or it is just information, right? So it is not error, okay, because the records are not available. You are passing a correct input, but the records are not available. You can pass information message also, okay. Error message also we can pass it, but in this situation information message is fine, okay. Or status message also fine. We'll use status message here. Yes, okay. So we are selecting material number and unit of measurement from Mara table using a created data as input. So we are using inline declaration. So we are selecting only two fields. How many fields we have here? 345. Out of these 345, we need only two fields here. We are not selecting all unnecessary fields, but we might expect multiple records based on this date. Okay. So what is start of selection event?
Select all.
Main logic you're writing startup selection.
Whatever the business logic, okay, the core functionality we are going to include in start of selection event. So what is initialization?
Pass the default value.
To pass the default values. You know the difference, right? By using default statement in a parameter and using installation event. In default statement, we can just pass some static values. We cannot pass calculated values. But here in the initialization, you can pass calculated values like this: date minus 2, date minus 10, or you can also write select statement here and pass that value to the parameter. So what is that selection screen event? It used to validate the
Value.
selection screen inputs and display suitable message, error message. Okay. What is start of selection? In this event, we write our core functionality or business logic. There is one more event,
And the
end of selection. What is this end of selection event? Usually we display output. Okay. This is not mandatory event, but we can use it. Okay. In end of selection, we display the output. Clear? For now, just remember these four events. These are very, very important. You can expect one or two questions from interview. These are very common questions. Okay. They'll ask, since we can pass default values for the parameter using default statement, why you are using installation event? Then what should do, what you should answer?
Parameter default value not calculated.
We cannot pass calculated values in default statement. Okay, if you want to pass calculated values, or data selected from the database tables, we need to use installation event. Okay. So order of the events are also very important. This is the order: installation, at selection screen, start of selection, and end of selection. These are the basic events. We have a few more events. We'll discuss further. Okay. For now, we don't need all those. Now let's enter the date, 14th, right? So we have two records. For first material, what is it? Unit of measurement is LM. I don't know what is LM. For the rest, for the remaining two materials, unit of measurement is kg. We'll try different date, 12th. 12th, these many records are created on 12th. So unit of measurement is EA. What is EA means? What is EA means? Each one. Each one. So the price is based on single piece. Okay. STL. I don't know what is L. So if you want to know what are these values, for every data, for every value, we'll be having a master table. For unit of measurement also, we are using a field here, right? MEINs. This will be having a master table somewhere. If you want to find what is the master data, what is the master data for this unit of measurement, go to here. Input help check. For mains, what is the check table? Observe the check table here. For mains, what is the check table? T006. It is the master data for mains. So all these unit of measurements will be stored in mains table. That values we can use in this table, Mara table. Double click on it. So T006 is the master table for unit of measurements. Execute this. So these are the unit of measurements. F means I think it's Fahrenheit. Okay, is it clear about the events? Is it clear?
Yes.
So going forward, we are going to use inline declarations in our select statements and events. Whenever we create a program, event is mandatory. We are going to follow the events. Okay. Till now, in the previous programs, we did not use any events. If you see this, we did not use any events here. Okay. But going forward, we are going to use these events mandatorily. If you write any code or not, just refine the event. Even if you are not passing any default values, just keep that event here. Initialization. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
These are the mandatory for every program.
These are mandatory.
These 4 steps.
These 4 events are mandatory. If you are validating the selection screen inputs, mostly we validate in most of the programs, we validate the selection screen inputs. We don't accept any value, right? For example, if I want to search data for 20 30. Is it a valid value? I
No.
want to search records which created on 2030. Is it possible?
No.
No, right?
Yes.
No. How can we have records which created on 2030?
Future.
Is not possible, right?
Yes.
So we should not allow that value.
Yeah.
Date should not be in future. So we are searching for records which are created till today, right? So all unit of measurements will be available here. millimeters. This is km. Km is kilometers. Kg, this is kilogram. Okay. What is EA? EA means each one. Each one. For example, pens, TVs. These we purchase in pieces, not in tons or kgs. Right?